Have you ever been hooked by a body sensation or a health worry? Maybe you've felt a heart palpitation and your adrenaline spiked and that scared you into thinking something was very wrong. Or maybe your health anxiety moves around your body, always triggering a new concern. Health anxiety reminds me of fly fishing. Have you ever heard of fly fishing? You basically cast a fishing line into a stream with a lure that's meant to fool the fish into believing it's a live fly. Now the trout sees it, bites it, and gets hooked. Our thoughts and our body sensations can be just like those fishing lures. They can grab our attention and then we bite and we get hooked into another health anxiety episode. And once we're hooked, the more we struggle and we think and behave in certain ways where we drive that hook deeper, and that keeps us caught on that line. Let me tell you about Chris and Melissa. These are two individuals who were once controlled by their health anxiety and their body sensations 24/7 until learning through my health anxiety recovery program how to navigate through their anxiety spirals. They learned to change their thinking patterns and how they responded to their health anxiety triggers. Chris was always on edge and his mind was focused on his heart. He actually kept track and he counted his irregular heartbeats, even though several cardiologists had reassured him that his tests were normal and there was nothing wrong with his heart. Every slight irregularity he felt just sent him into panic. Now, Melissa lived in dread, feeling like she couldn't cope if she were to have a health crisis. Even waiting on routine test results would send her into an anxiety spiral where she felt like she was unable to function or enjoy any aspect of her life. Now, their lives were dominated by the fear of illness and feeling emotionally overwhelmed, but that changed drastically when they learned what to do. Now, through the course, both Chris and Melissa learned several methods of treatment. They learned how to practice response prevention, specifically for health anxiety, and that means eliminating specific behaviors and avoidances that supported their health anxiety. They also learned how to stop catastrophizing and imagining the worst case possibilities, and they focused more on realistic explanations. Now, Chris and Melissa also took control of their health anxiety by planning intentional health anxiety exposures. Now, most people with health anxiety, they can't imagine doing exposures since they feel triggered almost all the time. But health anxiety exposures are therapeutic challenges designed to safely confront, gradually improve your ability to tolerate your anxiety. But what exactly are these exposures? So let's dive a little deeper here. Health anxiety exposures are structured experiences to face your fears under your control. You recreate or mimic the symptoms or situations that you fear in a controlled setting. Now, this might sound scary, but it's actually a very powerful step towards regaining control. For instance, interoceptive exposures are one of the leading evidence-based approaches for treating panic disorder and health anxiety sensations. They involve safely reproducing bodily sensations associated with your health anxiety. So let's say that you're like Chris and you fear a heart attack. After the approval from your physician, an interoceptive exposure might involve exercising to elevate your heart rate intentionally. And you learn that this increase is not only normal, but manageable. Similarly, for someone like Melissa who fears being unable to emotionally cope with a health crisis, one of her planned exposures might include writing and recording a script about her feared scenario that triggers her core fear. So you might wonder about how to start with these exposures. It begins with really understanding your core fears. You identify the physical sensations or situations that trigger your anxiety, such as palpitations, headaches, or even routine medical appointments. Then in a safe and supportive environment, you gradually and repetitively expose yourself to those triggers while not doing anything to avoid them or calm yourself. Now, the beauty of this approach is that with each exposure, you're essentially teaching your brain that you can handle the discomfort and that the feared consequences didn't happen. Now, this repeated experience reduces the anxiety associated with these triggers and improves your ability to tolerate the fear. Now, what's truly inspiring about Chris and Melissa's stories is how they transformed their lives. Chris was once paralyzed by the fear of heart attacks, and he now enjoys biking with his family. And even though he may still notice an irregular beat, he no longer associates it with danger and fear. Now, Melissa, who once feared being emotionally overwhelmed by a health scare, began volunteering at her local hospital, initially as one of her exposure exercises. But she now volunteers regularly and has confidence that she can handle whatever comes her way in life. Now, recovering from health anxiety isn't just about managing symptoms. It's about engaging in your life again. In my health anxiety course and in the Warm Heart Hub community, I provide you with the tools and the supportive community and the expert guidance needed to navigate and overcome your fears. I cover everything from the basics of coping with anxiety to advanced self-help techniques tailored to meet your needs. Are you ready to make the necessary changes in your life so that you can get unhooked from health anxiety? If so, I'm here to support you. Visit PaigePradco.com and join my health anxiety recovery program. You'll also find the Warm Heart Hub and my supportive community. I'm there daily to support you as you beat your health anxiety and get back to enjoying your life. Until next time, I'll see you in session. Take care. Bye-bye.